So before I start this tutorial, I just want to thank everyone who subscribed because I now have 100 subscribers. Since I've hit that mark, I'm going to start branching off and doing some more game art tutorials, Unity tutorials, game development tutorials. Don't worry, I won't stop Blender tutorials. I'm just going to branch off and start doing some more stuff. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, thanks subscribers, and enjoy the video. Hello and welcome to another Spastic Kangaroo tutorial. Today, I'll be teaching you how to model and create and import this machete from Blender into Unity. We'll go over the entire texturing process, the modeling process from high poly to low poly, and the entire importing process for the mesh and materials into Unity. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna model the high poly knife first, and I've just added an image empty and loaded this image in it, and I'm going to turn off clickable so I don't accidentally select it when I don't want to. So now let's create a plane and scale it down using S. And we're going to position it at the base of the blade. Now, we're going to start placing vertices. And you may notice that my mouse sounds a little bit different now, and that's because I got a new Apple mouse, because I was using a shared mouse with a Windows computer before, and I've got a Bluetooth mouse now, so I like it a lot. Oh shoot, I forgot. GG is now edge slide, so I can just GG to edge slide that edge so it's lined up more evenly with the rest. And for this model, we're going to be doing the high poly one first, and you're going to have to worry about topology a little bit. So make sure you have a fairly clean quad mesh. And I'm no expert in topology, so this is probably not the best way to do it, the most easy to edit, but it works pretty well. So let's just position this right here. And I'm not sure whether you're supposed to create a triangle here or if you're supposed to keep this as a quad, but I think keeping it as a quad is a better choice as long as it's not messing with it like that. Okay, so now let's move this one vertically a little bit. Move it all up vertically so that we can mirror it along the z-axis. And now, when we look at the bottom, we'll see this ghost mesh, kind of, which is our mirrored mesh. So now let's create the blade itself, which we're going to do by extruding, moving along the y-axis, and then pulling it down. Oh wait, let's turn on clipping, so then when we pull it down, it'll snap. So now it's all a matter of positioning the vertices so that they line up with a reference image. Whoops. So let's see, those all line up pretty well. Right about here, the blade begins to thicken. And right here, we're going to adjust the vertices so that they fit. Alright, so we're going to actually smooth this area out a little bit by moving the vertice right there. If we move this one back here, no, it won't make as much sense. Alright, so let's move this one a little bit forward so it's a smoother transition. So now, we're just going to add a subsurf modifier. And, oh wait, I forgot to do the top here. And let's just extrude that straight down. So view, top, and we're going to just tighten up these edges with edge loops. Wait, before we do that, let's actually select this edge loop and bevel it. Alright, so I quickly decided that it would make more sense to add the triangle here, because it makes this edge loop on the bottom selectable, which is the goal, because we aren't really worried about adding geometry to the middle of the blade, and we're worrying more about the blade itself. So actually, this will make more sense. So let's quickly just bevel this. Control B, and let's see which direction do I have to drag it. That way. Alright. So bevel it, and then add an edge loop in the middle. And that's a quick way to sharpen an edge. So let's do the same for the bottom, except actually we're not going to bevel that one. We're just going to drag an edge loop down. Alright. So let's hide the this empty quickly and see what the blade looks like. Okay, so it looks like one of the edges got stuck along the clipping. That one? Yeah, that one got stuck because of clipping. So let's move it up a little bit. And let's move this guy up a little bit. Okay, so if we... Let me check the top to make sure that didn't get destroyed. Oh wait, it looks good. Alright. So now our blade has a sharp seam along the blade itself, and we need to add one more edge loop right here so that the tip is pointy. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh wait, this looks a little blunt. So let's just try to get as close as we can without, let's deselect the top part, without letting it snap together so that it doesn't merge and cause a funny bit at the bottom. Alright, that's better. And the low poly version will be easier to sharpen the edge. But for now, I think this looks pretty good. So let's go to the top view and create the handle. So we'll show the image again. And we'll add a cube. And the reason I'm using a cube is because it's less thin. And you could use a plane for that, but I find a cube is easier to... a cube is easier to shape into the handle faster. Okay, so let's just get it looking good from the top. Oops. Alright, and let's extrude it this way. We're not going to be modeling the snub down here because, frankly, I think it looks a little funny, and a lot of the references didn't show it either. So, I think it was just for this one, but this was the first image that I found that was fairly easy. That was like the most contrasted black on white background. So let's just get this bit right here. And let's just tweak this, excuse me, so that we have a more evenly distributed mesh. Okay, wait. Let's make this thinner and move it down first, actually. View right. And, oh wait, that's not where I want to view it. View front. Alright. And let's move it down right there. And, well, we should probably add a mirror modifier too, because it is symmetrical. View right. Okay. scrolling on this mouse is cool, but I'm still getting used to it. It's a little bit hard when the machine is lagging too. So mirror along the z-axis. Oh wait, clipping. Okay, so yeah, let's make sure this is mirrored. Alright, that looks good right there. So let's smooth it out. We'll add some geometry and smooth. Oh, cool, they fixed that bug. It used to, the smooth tool used to pull it away when it was mirrored, but it doesn't do that anymore. It's awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's smooth it one more time and fix this bit over here, which got pulled in when we smoothed. And you want to keep your mesh fairly evenly distributed, as I said before, because otherwise the subsurf modifier ends up looking funny, and it will be more difficult to edit later on. And right there, pull this bit up. Let's pull this bit out to match with the handle. And again, let's smooth this top bit. Actually, this part right here is flat, so scale X 0 is a quick way to flatten it and pull it over there. Y, whoops. G, Y, and fix that. Fix this. And this should be flatter. G, Y. Okay. Perfect. And let's actually add one more seam one more loop cut right here, because then this will be less linear. So let's add a subsurf modifier, and obviously tighten this bit right here. And oh, I forgot to add the little hole right here. So what we're gonna do is select this entire area. Oops. These two faces, extrude, and I actually just realized that Loop Tools, not just now, but recently I realized that Loop Tools has a tool called Circle. And if you click Circle, it'll turn your mesh into a circle, your selected mesh into a circle, which is incredible, because the two sphere option was a little bit untrustable sometimes, so this makes a perfect circle every time. So that's a great thing that I just learned. So extrude and extrude. So let's make this a little bit of a bevel, and wait, 2 cuts, and then a cut on the outside. And if we smooth that, there it goes. Let's actually add one more level so you can see quickly how it looks. And let me make sure that it looks good. Okay, good. Because the last time I was having a little bump right here. But my topology is better this time, I think. Alright. It might be a bump right there, actually. Yeah, I think it is. Shoot. Select. More. Select. More. I'm using a smaller keyboard, which is why I always use the menu for things that are, oh wait, for like the view top and the, there it goes, like the select more and stuff that you can only do with a full-size keyboard. Wait, so let's move this bit up a little bit. Maybe just a little bit right there. There. But we don't want those. I call these bubbles. These things bubbles, but I'm not really sure what they are. But when you have them, they will show as bumps in your mesh. So I try to get rid of those. And let's tighten this edge right here. Okay, looks good. So let's just quickly tweak this so we don't have this little gap between the blade and the handle. And, oh wait. Sorry. Let's make this handle a little bit wider. Okay. And I think we should probably edge slide this. Okay, and now let's move that down. Let's add one more edge slide right there. And we have a handle, which we will now, actually, the blade is the longer part right here. And we can just put this bit back there. Perfect. So actually, let me save this quickly. Machete. Machete.blend. And yeah, that's the high poly bit. Now let me see. We're going to try and model this ridge. You can add it afterwards as a texture, which we might do if it's not going to work this way. But if we can actually model it, we can get it in the normal map a lot easier. So yeah, after tweaking a little bit more, it's all about the details. Wait, now we're over the top. Okay. Right there, right here, and right there. Alright. You have it now. Okay. So that is the handle. There's the blade. And we're gonna go make the handle texture now. The biggest problem with it is cutting it off evenly because it's kind of difficult to do that. You'll see when we get there. So yeah, let's model one individual ridge first. So there, which ridge is this? Okay, I think it's going to be here. So I think this ridge is a little square. It's not the triangle ridge. It might be the little okay, we're gonna do the diagonal ridge because I can't really tell what type of ridge that is. Diamond ridge. We're gonna do the diamond ridge. So we're gonna do the diamond ridge. So we'll make one diamond and extrude it up. Scale it in. Actually, then we're gonna extrude it up. And so scale 0 to make it a point. And remove doubles. So yeah, scale it down. Dad. Oh. That I will leave in. Okay. Yeah, so let's add an array modifier now. Okay. And let's move that down. Alright. I've composed myself. Alright, so let's just get this part all lined up. There. There. Merge. Okay, so the merge distance we're going to have to set a lot lower since this is a smaller mesh. So about 0.001 I think will work. So let's create this. Create the line that way. Let's add a few more so we can get all the way down to this little area right here. Okay. And we're going to create another array going along the x-axis so that 0.001 probably will work. Nope. 0.05. Alright, that looks almost there, so let's try 0.04, probably 0.045. Yeah, that's it. Right there. View. Top. Okay, so let's move that way. And let's go for 70 counts. Alright, that's too much. Let's try 20. Okay. 40. 60. Alright. 50. I think that's it. Maybe 55. 54. Alright. Close enough. So let's apply both of these. Apply. Apply. And we will delete this bit right here. This is what I mean by doing a clean bit around the edges, because it's kind of difficult to do. Delete this bit right here. Oops. This bit right there. And right there. Okay. So we're going to use the circle select by pressing C to select this area around here. And we're going to get this part right here. Right here, 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 here. Okay. And that's why I wanted to get that part right there, so that I made an extra bit along the bottom so that we'd have this spot covered with the texture. Let's delete one more layer in. Delete. Nope. One more layer in. Right here-ish. Let's try one more. Because we want a little bit of space in between the start and the end. Because that's what it looks like on the reference, and I think it'll be a little bit easier to stick on later. So, right here. Delete. I didn't put this texture on the last one, because that time the handle wasn't as flat, and I had some really big problems with normal mapping, so I just skipped it. But this time it'll work. So let's delete this spot right here. Well, we're already at 28 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this around 45 minutes max, but since it's the 100 subscribers special, I'll keep it a little longer, so we have more stuff. Plus, I got the unlimited, the ability to upload unlimited videos now, so I can have long videos. More. Right, and a little bit more. So I'm not trying to bore you to death, and I might time-lapse a bit more tedious bits. If you want me to time-lapse them, make sure to comment below, because some people might want to know why I'm doing it, but it might be just a little bit boring. Okay. Actually, I will pause the next bit once I explain what I'm doing, because this will just be busy work. So I'm just going to be cleaning up these edges. I'm going to be going in and deleting just little bits like this, and then going along and doing it with the next one, so that we have a even line. So I'll pause the video while I do that. It'll probably take 15 minutes, so be back to you when I finish. So I time-lapsed this next bit because it was sort of tedious, just modeling. But I finished the grip and cleaned it up, and now I'm going to add a lattice so that I can bend it to line up with the rest of the knife. And you may notice that it doesn't have the little planar bit in between it now, it's just the little spikes, and that's because it was easier to work with. So I'm just lining up in the front and the back, and the handle wasn't as flat as I thought it was, and that's why I had to do this afterwards. It's a little bit curved, but again, it's still easier to work with than the last one. The last one was like really, really, really curved. And I just applied the lattice because it matches up now, and since the handle was mirrored, I can just duplicate it and stick it underneath, and I have the exact same copy on the bottom. So now I'm just moving them to another layer so that they don't get in the way when I'm modeling the low poly. Now low poly is about getting the least number of vertices in well, having the least number of vertices, but having the maximum amount of shape in the model. So you are allowed to use triangles for it. Actually, you're encouraged to use triangles for parts of it. It will look better if you do that. And it'll be easy, faster running, more optimized in-game. So now I'm just fixing the blade up. Again, modeling over top. I'm snapping using the face snapping with automatic face snapping, so it will snap onto the closest object. And now we're going to turn this area into triangles because we need to make it very curved, because that's the most curved part of the sword, I think. So I'm just lining things up now. And then making the face and then triangulating it. So instead of having a lot of geometry there, we just have one vertex it's all connecting to. So now I'm going to just curve that area using a similar technique. And the game engines generally convert a mesh into triangles anyway, so you can have triangles in it. Now I'm just naming things and placing them on different layers so I can swap between them when I need it. I can swap between layer 1 for my low poly, layer 2 for my high poly, layer 3 for my grips. So I can just press the layer on my keyboard and it will bring up that mesh. So now I just added a mirror modifier and I'm cleaning up the mesh a little bit, making it flat, because the snapping doesn't always work perfectly. and then I'm just deleting these little spots, but I actually will be adding the mirror modifier back because a little bit got messed up, and I modeled the handle too, and it'll be using the same mirror modifier, and it's just easier to work with a mirrored mesh, so I ended up going back to the mirror modifier anyway. So now I'm going to start modeling the handle. Just select the top bit and just model the edges. And this one's going to have more geometry in it because it has a lot more shape than the blade, which is mainly just flat. And although it does have curves in it, it's not as many. So now I'm just going to start extruding back to make the shape of the knife. And don't worry, we will be optimizing this in just a second. Making that all flat because the handle is flat. And now I'm adding some geometry so that I can create the hole. And I decided to add a vertex and then triangulate it, and then vertex bevel to create the circle, and then using the circle tool again to make the circle and extruding it in. Now I'm extruding around the butt of the knife and making the shape in between the edge and the top, the little faces there. And then I'm just connecting the top of the knife using the bridge tool. And then I'm going to connect that to the other top of the other part of the blade. And finally, I'm just going to go in and optimize it a little bit more. Since the top is flat, doesn't need too much geometry, and we can just snap edges as much as we want. And again, I'm doing the similar triangulating curve like I did for the pointy end of the knife. And then I'm just flattening everything because it's easier to work with, and that's sort of what I did for the model anyway. And now I just applied the mirror modifier so I can go in and optimize. So I can optimize the edges where the mirror was creating a loop cut. So that's all I have for you guys this time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. To those of you who have subscribed already, thanks. It means a lot, and I will continue to create lots of tutorials. So that's all I have for you guys this time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.